Hello, everyone. Hey, we're getting right back to this, okay? Look it, we're off to a great start. We're going back, okay? It is summer 2019. The Thoughtful Podcast is full steam ahead, and life is just weird, okay? And we're picking up from then, okay? The last year and a half have been a blur of just insanity. Is this on the right thing? It is. Good. Yeah, so this is for the people who were watching me before, and who were like, where'd Thoughtful go? Like, it went away for a long time. But listen, me podcasting regularly is back, starting now, starting today, starting February 1st. Yes, that's what we're about here at Amanda Koopa-Cast. I'm going to be doing it weekly for certain, and then I might throw in when I feel like there are other things I need to talk about. I will throw in mini episodes throughout the week, but I'm hoping to be weekly again. Mondays, Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, those between Mondays is my goal. Mondays is my target. If I'm early, it's because I have other stuff going on. And if I'm late, it's because I suck. Okay. So yeah, I was very in over my head when I was doing this before. I didn't have a solid plan. I had everything just running with no goal. And that's how we're doing it again. There's no goal, but the goal is just to maintain, because this really helps me, it helps my sanity. I've always found places on the internet. I've always found people on the internet, because it's really hard for me to find people who get me, who understand me. It's really, really difficult. And so I guess there's a lot more people on the internet than there is around me. So, yeah, thank you to those people. So, yeah, I'm a little warm. I was cold and now I'm warm. So, it's business time. We won't be doing topless episodes anymore. If you want topless content and super sweet nudes, OnlyFans is the place to go. It's the best it's ever been right now. Yeah, it's the most consistent it's ever been from any of my content ever. OnlyFans is poppin'. So get on there if you like that kind of stuff. If you don't, you can still support me by supporting me on Patreon. Thank you, as always, to Will and the other people who support me on Patreon that I forget right now because I'm the worst. But I'll always put your names in the description. Also, if you are someone who podcasts, if you do anything creative, artistically, independently, I'd like to help you and promote you. I'm only going to, I'll promote people that I think are cool and that I like. And not necessarily, there are a lot of things that I'm not necessarily into that I would share. So if you are somebody who does independent things, let me help you. And by sharing your links on my things and just helping you, because we've really come to a world where it doesn't matter how many followers you have. It doesn't matter how many friends you have on Facebook. If Facebook doesn't want your message to be heard, they're going to block it. If Instagram doesn't want people to see your posts, they're not going to let them see your posts. So it's really important to have community and solidarity and unity and just help each other. Independent people. I'm not talking people who have record deals and book signings and shit like that. I'm talking independent. I've always supported independent. I started off my life with being ICP, Hatchet Man Strong. Still, I like that stuff still. But But yeah, we got to support the little guys, and we're the little guys. Why do we spend so much money on like, Gucci sneakers when there's somebody down the road from us just killing it making shoes? Why are we, we need to support people who support us. And by us, I mean people of our country. People who support capitalism, and I'm talking real capitalism, not Wall Street capitalism, not the type that only you have to own a helicopter to buy stock, like not that kind of capitalism. I'm talking real, true. I make a product, you think it's worth something, you pay for it, and I make more. That's what I'm talking about. So anyways, continuing on. So the Thoughtful podcast ended in a whirlwind. No, it didn't. It just kind of deleted itself from existence when I decided that something really horrible happened to me, a while ago. And I didn't really realize how horrible it was, but it was affecting every decision I was making in my life because I was seeking vengeance and I was seeking to lessen the shame I felt. I was seeking to destroy someone who didn't even realize that they had, I was seeking to destroy someone who didn't even realize they destroyed me in my own mind. And so I was seeking revenge. And I blew so much money. I spent so much money. I traveled so much for something so ridiculous. But you know what? I learned a lot. I learned so much from it. So I can't be mad now. And I mean, the last 8 months of my life have been pretty insane. Well, sorry. I guess it would have started in... So we're just going to talk about it. So, I kind of stopped doing everything because I had hit a wall and I realized what I was doing. So I stopped doing it. And then I went to my Vipassana course, and it really kind of helped me in so many ways just see what was really going on in my own heart and mind and body. And so from that, I was able to just, see a little clearer, forgive myself a little more, place the blame where it was meant to be placed. And, I wrote some songs about it, which are still yet to come. And then it wasn't until 6 months later that, not 6 months, I guess, 4 months later, that when I found out that what had happened to me had happened to so many other people, it was almost like it hit me all over again, but in a wave of guilt, because I felt like because I dealt with things the way that I dealt with them by seeking revenge and chasing something, I just wanted this motherfucker to have to look me in the eye again when I fucking punched him in the face. That's what I was trying. That was it didn't work. I never did get there. Unfortunately, I tried mingling with his friends. I tried all of these things to kind of expose who someone was. And it was all for naught, because guess what? Any adventure that's based on vengeance or a negative feeling is not going to be prosperous. You're going to be successful if you're trying to feed children and build them houses. You are not going to be successful if you're trying to punch someone in the face. Okay, that's just the way of the world. We should all know this. We should all know that vengeance doesn't pay. We should all know that even when the Punisher killed the guy that killed his family, he didn't feel any better. He just kept brooding on and continuing to be his Punisher self. So so I learned a lesson, and and along the way I met a friend, and her name was Cindy, and Cindy really, really kept me alive. And I don't think she realizes that. I don't think anybody realizes that, because when what happened. I'm just, when what happened, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know what my brain was anymore. I was disillusioned by someone I very much looked up to, and I felt very trapped in the kind of persona I had created, and then that kind of snowballed it into this mountain of shame. And so I blamed myself for a very long time. But when I was, so I had this friend, Cindy, and we started kind of talking this subliminal, cryptic shit to each other online. I was trying to, at the time, I didn't know if she was a real person, but the fact that many people didn't think she was a real person gave me comfort that I could kind of say whatever the fuck I want to this person, and then if anything comes back to me, I can be like, dude, that's not even a real person. That was my kind of mentality at the beginning. And then, we were just talking shit to each other so much, and then we started sharing personal photos, like her getting her hair cut, and I would be like, this is what I'm doing and stuff like that. And then I was like, okay, this is a real person, and this person is fucking hilarious. And we were always just talking about the same things and coming up with these schemes and creating memes and photoshopping photos. And she was kind of the only one on the inside with me. Everybody else was on the outside. I don't know. When I think back about it, it's like her and I would talk all this shit, but then say something completely different in public. And that's what helped me kind of joke about it for a long time and make it kind of less serious than it was. Even when I went to see her, I remember I went to LA to meet Cindy, and we ended up in a situation, and it was if you listen to old Thoughtful episodes, which are still available on Spotify somehow, even though all my RSS feeds have been deleted, and I did that, and now I regret it because I did it very hastily in a moment of I hate myself. So yeah, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, when I went to LA, we ended up in a situation where these guys wanted to, or these people, her and I were just having drinks on this rooftop because I had never done that before. And then we met these random people. And then one of those random people made a joke to me about roofing me. He said he said he thought he should roofie me so I would have more fun. And I pretty much had a meltdown because it was holy shit, I traveled all this way and the same things can still happen to me here, I don't know. And of course that's true, but it's no matter where you go, there's piece of shit people in the world. I mean, of course, but whatever. Anyway, I don't know. So then, yeah. Either way, it was a crazy time. So then, once you kind of learn that, once you're kind of disillusioned, I went far, 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 far down the rabbit hole, and I didn't come back, as nobody does. I mean, once you go down the rabbit hole, there is no going back because you can't deny what you've seen. You can't deny what you've read. You can't deny the research you've done, because it's real as fuck. I mean, so it was just one thing after another. And then on top of that all, fucking COVID. I shouldn't even say that out loud because I'll get, banned like I always do. But that, has made everybody's lives hard. So, and I mean, I have a very privileged life for the most part, compared to most people, but I though? I've worked my fucking ass off to be able to support myself and my daughter in our own home. So that's good. But yeah, it's just been a weird year for everyone. But I don't know. It's like, I guess if you listened to my old stuff now, you would be very like, who is this lady? Because I, was very liberal, very whatever. I didn't really have a lot of opinions like publicly about, certain issues that I disagreed with, just because, the leftist mob will destroy you almost always when you disagree with them. But now, not so much anymore. It's really hard to cancel people now when there's like an army of conservative people who are just being stomped out, and they don't want to. They're not going to take it anymore. So that's good. But yeah, so basically, I ruined my life chasing revenge. And then I was disillusioned, and then my whole entire worldview changed. And then, yeah. It's like, and so as soon as I started like Save the Children and stuff like that, all of these Christian and things, people started to follow me. And then it was like, before I knew it, I was a conservative. Christians were liking my stuff before they even really knew who I was. And then when some of them found out who I was, they were like, what the fuck? This is what you are. And it was a little, it's like, where do I fit in? I'm too liberal to be conservative, but I'm too old fashioned to be liberal. Like, I believe boys are boys and girls are girls. So now I'm a conservative, And like, I like to bring up the fact that, and I mean, listen, there are gay people in the world. There are lesbians in the world. There are whatever queer people in the world. But you cannot deny the astounding correlation of childhood abuse and homosexuality. Yeah, there's been studies about it. And so people take that out of my mouth and they say, oh, she thinks that gay people are only gay because they got molested. Well, that is what studies say. I don't think that. I read that. Now, I know a lot of gay people. Were they molested? I don't fucking know. It's none of my business. But I would hope that if there was someone in the world that was feeling like, I'm a gay person, but I'm not happy and I feel like I'll never be satisfied, I feel like that person should look into some introspective work, whether it be Vipassana, whether it be fucking, I don't know, find God or something. Because darkness is really invading people's brains, hearts, and minds, and it's really crazy to see a lot now when you like really look at it, like, because there's so many people in politics that are women, but they're men, but they don't identify as transgender. They just lie to us and say that's not true, which I find very odd considering the transgender movement that began with Caitlyn Jenner. So when you hear about things like that, you got to wonder why somebody would lie about that if it's totally okay. But and this is a very controversial statement, but I think that most transgender people are severely mentally ill. I haven't met one that isn't. I haven't, unfortunately. So, like, help me out. And then, so recently I was discussing this on an Instagram live, and somebody sent me all of this information about, because I had brought up the fact that 90% of transgender people regret their surgery if they get it. Because you're going against your own biology. So, yeah, it was just like, so she sent me this information package of all this info saying that's not true. But in the information she sent me, she proved it to be true. I don't know. Like, if you dress up like a woman and want to be called Miranda and you want me to refer to you as she, okay. But I draw the line when you want to use the same bathroom as my 9-year-old daughter. Period. Sorry. That's just the way it is. And it's very troubling to see how many transgender people are predators and pedophiles. It's very troubling. I don't like those stats. And I especially don't like that there's a transgender person in British Columbia who terrorizes the town constantly, trying to sue them and say all of these things, and they're not treating me right equally here. They're not letting me enter this modeling pageant here, and they're not letting me enter this young girls thing here. And it's like, meanwhile, this exact same person who's now claiming to be a woman used to bully women online. So it's like, you don't get to, okay, so 100,000 people called you out for bullying women, and then a short skip and a jump later, you identify as a woman? Get the fuck out of here. Okay? As a woman, fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. You don't get to make fun of, or you don't get to set fire to the fucking, chess club, and then come back and be like, I'm a great chess player, let me play. Get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna say it again. Get the fuck out of here. I shouldn't swear. Then maybe YouTube would stop blocking my videos. Next time I'm gonna try not to swear. But yeah. So another interesting, I don't know. I wrote this thing down. So I've been watching Tim Pool. I don't watch a lot of media anymore. I watch PragerU. I watch Tim Pool. I watch the Hodge Twins now and then. I watch Next News Network sometimes, but they try to sell me gold all the time, and I think that's weird. I'm on Gab now. I'm thinking Gab will be my main social media. I just wish it had its own app, but I did create a shortcut on my home screen. So all I have to do is click it and I'm on it, just like I would Instagram. So if you do that, it's awesome. But I want to read. I was so inspired by Tim Pool yesterday that I wrote what he said down. And usually I just screen record him, but I wanted to write it down and type it out and share it with his, I wanted to make a, his face kind of fading away with text and stuff like that, like a quote meme. And I just haven't done it yet, but I want to read this to you because it's very interesting. And so my whole thing is okay, so yeah, I was opened up to the fact that the media lies constantly about Donald Trump. And then I was opened up to the fact that Joe Biden is a creepy, hair-sniffing pedophile who is owned by China and wants to sell off America and is buddies with pedophile Justin Trudeau, who is also a absolute failure as a leader of a country. So I was very much Team Trump, but I don't want anybody to think that because people are like, oh, you have Trumpism, whatever. Well, you have Trump derangement syndrome. See how this works? We can call each other names all the day. But what I don't want is that. I'm not AOC. I want real unity. I'm not a CUNT like that lady. That lady is psychotic. And the fact that people think she's a real person, the fact that they think that she could just be like me and sit here and just talk to you and be real with you, that's an absolute lie. Look at her campaign contributions. She is bought and paid for. Same with all of the politicians that are quite popular right now in Canada. Erin O'Toole, Michelle Rempel-Garner, they're part of the World Economic Forum. So as much as they talk shit to Justin Trudeau, I believe they're playing for the same team as him. So we've got to get Buffalo Party of Saskatchewan. We got to get Wild Rose Party of Alberta. I don't know what's going on in Toronto, Manitoba, but like, come on, Ontario, Manitoba. But, you know, Quebec's its own fucking country. And then the East, I don't know. Most of them come here anyway. So, you know, I really want to go to the East and do puffin patrols. So if there's anybody that watches this that knows about that, I want a puffin patrol. How do I do it? I want to volunteer. I don't have a lot of money, so can't really afford to come out there on my own accord. But I want to take care of your puffins. So anyway, so I'm going to read you this quote from Tim Pool, and I just want people to understand, we are the people. We are the citizens. If you have a job and you go to it and you work, you're a citizen of a country or whatever. This is important to know. So I'm going to read it. So as quoted of Tim Pool. Before Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders, activists had been complaining about the revolving door nature of our political system. From our biggest corporations to government, there is a revolving door where people will become the CEO of a major conglomerate and then transfer into some government oversight position or have relatives who are. And there is an establishment ruling class that's in control. Bernie Sanders capitulated, he lost, and he gave in and endorsed the system. Donald Trump didn't. He shattered through and ran amok for several years. The establishment grabbed the reins back recently, and now we're seeing that even though they used raw power to take the reins back from Donald Trump, who was not part of that club, what caused Donald Trump has not gone away. And since then, we have only seen the veil be shattered ever more. The system has been exposed. With the rise of Wall Street bets and the GameStop rebellion, the left and right were united, and they were going after the machine together. The system is afraid, and they're resorting to the only thing they know. And what's that? Culture war issues. So the machine is going to do everything in its power to stop this. So what now? They're projecting $70 billion in losses for Wall Street just in this past month. They're going to throw every culture war issue at us to get us to keep fighting. And unfortunately, they've got their players set up just to do that. They've rigged the game in such a way that is truly incredible. I absolutely agree, Tim Pool. He's so fucking... There are some times where, Anyways, he's smart. He's right. If you don't know about this GameStop and GameStop rebellion and Wall Street bets, I'm going to post 2 links to videos below. They're very quick, concise explanations of the Wall Street bets thing. One is by Ben Shapiro. I don't remember who the other one is, but I have it in mind, and I'll be posting the link below. He's absolutely right. So the Wall Street bets thing was crazy. And the first thing AOC does is say Ted Cruz tried to murder her to draw the attention back to the Capitol Hill bullshit, to draw the attention back to rigged election, to draw the attention back to Donald Trump and those people are fucking crazy racists trying to kill everybody. Fuck you, lady, okay? That shit's crazy. She is bought and paid for, and the only reason she's trying to make drama like that on Twitter is to distract you, to draw your attention away from Wall Street bets and GameStop rebellion. We gotta break these rich people, you guys, okay? This is our chance. And this event is what kind of inspired me to be who I am again, because as much as I wanted, so in the past months I've been what can I do? I want to join a news team. I want to be a journalist. I was protesting. I was organizing rallies. I was organizing all kinds of things, and then I realized I was getting harassed and threatened and all of these things for what? I was getting harassed and threatened before just for being cute and naked. Now I'm getting harassed and threatened for standing up for the world. And maybe I'm doing a great thing and whatever, but it's starting to really affect my mental health and my job and everything like that. And I don't need, like, I love you guys. I love helping the world. I love doing what I think is right. But at the same time, I need to put my heart, soul, and feelings first. Otherwise, I kind of turn into a wreck, a puddle. I melt into nothing, and I see no value in myself and all these things. I'm a very damaged and broken individual, which brings me to my next point. Everybody's talking about say their names. Black Lives Matter, save their names. I'm not going to talk about like that whole thing. We all know that what went on last year with the rioting and stuff was absolutely unacceptable. Statistics, blah, blah, blah. I'm not getting into that with you guys because it's annoying as hell. But everybody's saying say their names regarding like people who have been killed by police and things like that. But I also think that it is incredibly important to say the names of people who have sexually assaulted people or sexually abused people, because guess what? That shit goes on constantly behind closed doors. And most people are too ashamed to admit it. They're too ashamed to talk about it at all. And it's just one of those things that like you can't get away from your whole life. And yet you're not really supposed to talk about it. And if you do talk about it, it's incredibly uncomfortable. I know there are people in the world who can bring up like molestation and rape in a conversation without batting an eye. And then there are some people who fall apart at the very thought. And for those people, I believe that we should really change the course of the course of action, I guess, because like why protect people like that, so it's the same thing. Like, okay, so a guy rapes a girl and then he doesn't go to jail and doesn't, pleads out and they say, he's going to get this sentence instead because then he doesn't get a permanent scar on his record because that could ruin his life. Well, hey, the girl he raped, her life is ruined. She's never going to feel the same about sex, about men, about anyone touching her ever again. Ever again. You do not forget something like that, unfortunately. And that's why I think it's so important to say the names of the people who do these things. Because why wouldn't we? We talk about, calling people out. What happened to the Me Too movement, It's like as soon as Joe Biden came into the picture, you couldn't really talk about sex abuse because he's one of the worst offenders. Yikes, bro. Have you seen the Hunter Biden laptop? There's a website. I can direct you, but I can't send you the link. It gets blocked. Anyway, so when you say their names, you release it out of you, I guess. I have a list of names. I do. Unfortunately. And I'm not ready to say them yet. I thought I was, but I'm not. Most of these people I haven't seen in 10 years. There's only 2 people on it that I've seen in the last 5 years. And yet it still haunts me. People say that I'm a selfish cunt because I don't wear a mask in public because I have a medical exemption. My medical exemption is because they make me panic because this has happened to me a few too many times. I've talked about this before. But yeah, Sometimes I have to put on a face shield. And even just that makes me lose my breath. It's that hot feeling on my face that you don't forget when somebody tries to suffocate you or keep you from screaming. So these are the things I'd like to draw attention to in the world because they're very difficult to talk about. And when I was very young, I remember the sexual assault center being very prevalent in the community. And we talked about things like this. And if a guy raped a girl, he was, chastised by the entire community, as he should be. And granted, there are women who lie, and women who lie kind of fuck up the system, because then, how do you ever prove it is the problem? I don't know. I normally take people for their word. There's two sides to every story. But I feel like it takes a real evil kind of person to lie about something like that. So, yeah. Anyways, this has been fun. I talked a lot. Don't remember what about, as usual. I just want to express myself, and that is why I will continue to do this. Expressing myself. It's a selfish thing, for sure. But I need it. I do. So, I'm going to do it. And I know that there are people who enjoy it. And I appreciate that so much. You know that I love you. We're getting matching tattoos. And we're best friends. You know that. So I'll see you next time. And in the meantime, leave me comments, drop me links, tell me what business you started that you want me to promote, whether it's OnlyFans or dick pic fucking whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. As long as it's not something that hurts anybody, I will help you share it. I just trying to help. I just want to help a little bit, but only as much as I can.